Hi, bigenderdotnet viewers. My name is Brin. I am the owner and administrator of bigenderdotnet, and this is week 2 of our collaborative channel. It was Sydney's turn to ask the question, and she has cheated and submitted a 2-part question. The first question is, how do you cope with dysphoria when it strikes and circumstances prevent an outright switch? And there's a bonus question: share a song, album, or artist you wish more people knew about. I talked about how I define dysphoria in my last video, which is when I am being treated by people that I interact with in a way that is different to how I'm feeling inside. Regardless of presentation. Now, usually people are queuing off of the presentation that I give, and so I really only encounter this when I am dressed like a boy and feeling like a girl, and everyone's treating me like a boy, and it feels very wrong and out of place and disorienting. But for the most part, I've made enough changes to my body that I really don't experience that kind of dysphoria anymore. You know, at work, when it comes to work, I'm not going to be there more than a couple more hours, so I can suck it up. Really is what that comes down to. Just sort of suck it up and wait till I'm out of the office, you know? And, you know, as soon as I get on the road, I can take off whatever button-up shirt or polo shirt that I have on, and you know, I have my little strappy tank on, and you know, that usually does the trick. Let my hair down, and I'm on my merry way. Like I said, I don't really encounter the same thing when I'm in girl mode, or when I'm dressed, when I'm presenting as a girl, but I sort of default to girl mostly. I have more girl days than boy days. So, you know, the odds are just more, I feel more girl than boy most days, but I dress more boy than girl most days. So, that's really where the highest likelihood of there being dysphoria. But the real dysphoria that I get is more of forced presentation. So I talked about it in one of my personal channel videos, Brin Convenient. Go ahead and check me out and subscribe. There are situations where I have to present male, and it's, you know, I could present female if I wanted to, but I would be causing a lot of problems for a lot of people that I care about. So, I've constructed my life in such a way that those instances are becoming further and fewer between. Further and farther between. Fewer and farther between. I knew there was an idiom in there somewhere. They're becoming fewer and farther between. So, I'm fairly out everywhere except work, my girlfriend's employer, my girlfriend's family, and that's kind of it. I have segments of my family that I don't really see very often. I only see them about once a year, so, and even then for a couple of hours. So, you know, making the presentation a little more boy than girl really costs nothing to me. But like there was a recent incident where I had to go meet my girlfriend's family for an overnight stay. And it's really best for all involved that they don't know my trans status, so I had to be a boy. And I knew going in that I was going to have to be a boy, and I had told my girlfriend several times that, you know, it's her decision on what is divulged and what is not and disclosed, and when, you know. So if never, that's acceptable because that's her family. So even knowing that going in, it was still harder on me than I thought. It was the first time I'd really encountered it. And The only solution I have is just to remember constantly that it's not permanent. I'm lucky enough to not be stuck in that life where I am constantly in the closet anymore. My closet time has gotten very minimal, so I really only go visit it. I never live there anymore. And so it's really just this sort of serenity prayer, you know, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. And, you know, those are things I can't change. So, you know, I've changed a lot of things that I could. So, you know, I mean, I'm doing my part for that. But really, it's just to remind myself that this isn't my full-time life. You know, I have a real life outside of this one instance, this short-term instance where I have to look like this. And, you know, I understand it around family because people's families come in different levels of acceptance. I have a hard time when it comes to friends. I've had instances in the past where I felt like I was forced to present a certain way by people that I thought were a safe space, and they turned out not to be, and that was hurtful and that was painful. But, you know, I kind of absented myself from their life. So, you know, that solves that problem, I guess. Yeah, so really the only solution I have is, if for you, like me, it is always a temporary situation for you to be stuck in a closet, just breathe. Remember that the walls aren't caving in, they're just close to you. And, you know, and then that door's going to open back up and you'll be free to live your life. So, yeah, so that's all I really have for dysphoria. When it comes to body dysphoria, I took the only solution I could, which was change my body until it stopped being dysphoric, and I have. You know, I grew my hair long, I pierced my ears, I started hormone therapy, you know, as you can see, these are having an effect. You know, and I changed my presentation, my average run-of-the-mill presentation, to something I'm more comfortable with. That's not a luxury that everybody has. I don't really know. Honestly, I don't know if I have any advice for anyone who's in a situation where they're presenting one way and they have a gender switch, and suddenly they have to scoot, you know, and go find something else, you know, find a way to relieve the dysphoria. Because I don't always get it. It's more of, my dysphoria is more predictable in the way that it's situational, you know. So this is pretty much a useless video, so I can't give you your 8.5 minutes back, I'm sorry. So, song, album, or artist you wish more people knew about. You know what? There's this kid on here on YouTube named Tommy Monroe, and his username is TOMMARILYN Monroe, like Tom Marilyn Monroe. And he happened to leave a comment on my channel, I think, or one of my videos. No, I think my channel. And so I just happened to follow back. He's this British sort of folksy artist, and, you know, I suspect he's very, very unknown and just happens to be on YouTube. But I really liked his stuff, and he did this cover of Material Girl, which I thought was really, really awesome and clever. So I'll put a link to his channel in the show notes. Or, you know, I'll go back in afterwards and put an annotation like here-ish, but back in time, where I was talking about the person. You can click on that and go to this thing. Other than that, what I've really been enjoying lately is a lot of electronica dance music type stuff, which is weird because that was never, ever anything that was in my repertoire of enjoyment, but I heard Bulletproof by LaRue a little while ago, and I really dug it, and I listened to it like 4 times in a day, which was ridiculous when it comes to my musical style listening habits, because I never liked listening to music, and I never really got into artists or music just didn't speak to me in the same way that it speaks to a lot of other people. Books and literature do, but music never did. But I put Bulletproof into Pandora and got this really awesome channel out of it. And let's see, there's one song called Untouched by the Veronicas that I just find absolutely sexy. Like, it just sounds like sex to me. I've been assured that this is me and nobody else, but I really, really dig it. But the Veronicas and LaRue, I think they're very well known in the target demographics to which they're aiming. But check out Tommy Marilyn Monroe, it's Tommy Monroe, but the link. I'll give you the link. Check him out, and if you're a music producer, then go sign him up because he's awesome. That's all I have. So Sydney will be here tomorrow with her video. Have a good night, and visit us at bigenderdotnet.